Every coffee needs a lotus.
Sorry, hindi ko nakuha yung speak louder. I was speaking the same with Nina from Jeffrey.
Every coffee needs a lotus.
Welcome back to the second part of our program. This is the Q&A. If the first part have been interesting, it has been interesting to all of you. I'm telling you, this is even more interesting. Why? Because our resource speaker will get to answer your questions personally. But in the meantime, before we go to the question guidelines and acknowledgement of out of town participants, let me know if you can hear us clearly. Wave if you can hear us clearly. Ayan. So for the question guidelines, for our Zoom participants, please type in your questions at the Q&A box. Type in your question. There's the chat box and there's the Q&A box. We'd love to hear from you. So type in your questions at the Q&A box. For Zoom live questions, if you want to be heard, if you want to be seen, we'll be more than happy to hear you and hear from you. Click the raise button to notify us. And of course, we'll give you the platform to ask your question personally. For our Facebook Live viewers, type in your questions on the comment section. And we will try to, and we will do our best. Not try, we will do our best to answer them for you. Now, we also have to acknowledge the out-of-town participants. So okay lang po ba, Coach Ben? Basahin po natin.
Go ahead.
Opo. So sa ating mga out-of-town participants, maraming salamat po sa inyo. If you think that this has been very useful, we will appreciate your positive feedback. Now, the Neuroscience of our Unconscious Mental Biases seminar, April 20, 2020, Monday. Thank you, Angela City, for sending 4 packs. Bacolod City, 3 packs. Baguio City, 5 packs. We also have from Bukidnon, Valencia, 1 person. Cagayan de Oro City, we have 5. Cebu City, we have 18. Wow, thank you, Cebu, for your unwavering support. Davao City, we also have 10. Dumaguete, we have 9. Dumaguete City. Jensan, 1. Iligan City, 1. Iloilo City, 6. And we also have La Union, 1. Negros Oriental, 1. Olongapo City, 1. Palawan Coron, 1. Pampanga, 15. Pangasinan Dagupan, 3. Siquijor, 1. Surigao City, 1. Tarlac, 3. And Tugigaraw City, 1. So maraming salamat po sa pagdalo ninyo sa ating free webinar. So Coach, are you ready to answer some questions?
Game.
Okay, game na po tayo. So,
Game.
from one anonymous attendee, I have been diagnosed by my neurologist of temporal global amnesia. What is your advice to eliminate my stress on this? Thank you.
I would always say that if there's a medical condition, I would be the first to say, please see a medical practitioner.
Mhm.
But there are certain basic things that we can do, even healthy people, to take care of our brains.
Mhm.
And I use the acronym SELF. S is sleep.
Mhm.
Sleep is actually SLEX. Whenever you think of your brain, think of going to the South Luzon Expressway.
Mhm.
SLEX is sleep and exercise.
Wow.
Sleep, actually, our brains are more active whenever we're asleep than when we are awake. That sounds rather counterintuitive, but it's
Mhm.
true. And whenever we think, our brain develops toxins, which only sleep can wash away. That's why it's good to be brainwashed by sleep.
It's good to be brainwashed
By sleep,
by
because
sleep.
if you don't sleep, your brain just keeps on accumulating those toxins, which will take its toll. Dementia is a given. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
When?
So it's now a global phenomenon, and sleep is one way to counteract that. 7 to 9 hours restful sleep, preferably without any medication.
Mhm.
There are certain things that you can search online about how to do it. And then E is exercise. There's a study that says that 150 minutes a week, that is
Wow.
very, very doable.
Mhm.
150 minutes a week is enough to keep your brain active. Now, if you want to really keep your brain energized, an exercise that's recommended is choreographed dancing. Dancing, because it keeps your body moving, but the choreography also keeps your brain active.
Mhm.
So hindi pwede yung just dancing TikTok without
Mm.
any sense of direction. Choreographed dancing. And then L is laughter. We are stressed. The news is stressful. We have a lot of pressures. Pressure is actually caused by the neurotransmitter cortisol. It can kill you. And that's why if you have cortisol for an extended period of time, like 1 month because of the quarantine, it hardens inside. It makes your blood vessels hard. So you want to laugh. So may I recommend watch funny film, listen to music that's not heartbreak music, listen to
Mhm.
upbeat music, and music in general is also good. And then F is food. Uh, Eat healthy food. Sadly, our brain is powered by glucose, sugar.
True.
That's why whenever I do a lot of coaching for the BPO industry, and they work, imagine the BPO industry, their sleep patterns are bad because they work
Yeah.
on other people's time.
Mhm.
So yung S themselves is already down. And then they don't exercise because when they go home, they sleep. They
Mhm.
don't socialize because when they're awake, their friends are also sleeping or in the work. And their food is every place that there's a BPO, there's a Starbucks, and no, there's a coffee shop, there's a food stop.
Mhm.
So all of the SELF are compromised. And that
Mm.
and also it's a stress-filled environment, so it takes its toll. So let's make use of the ECQ. Sleep well,
Mm.
exercise 150 minutes a week is very doable. Learn to laugh. Don't take everything so seriously. There's a saying, don't sweat the small stuff, and
Mm.
most everything is small stuff. And eat food. Sadly, the Filipino breakfast is not a healthy breakfast.
Tapsilog.
Absilog is not healthy.
Tosilog.
So
Mm.
uh, take care of your body. You only have one. It's the vehicle that will take you from here to there. Invest on it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coach Ben. Now, this is another question, and it's for everyone. We've seen how the Filipinos have been polarized politically by the pandemic, and it has brought the worst out of the Filipino people. I'm not saying in general, but most people I know and most people we know in Facebook who were once sane, analytical, and emotionally in control became during and still are now during the quarantine highly emotional, easily hijacked, easily depressed, or at least easily triggered. There are so many people who are easily triggered. How can we help them back? Or if there are these people, how can they come back to their kind self, their loving self, their analytical self, Coach?
Right. I would say always get a piece of chalk, if that's still in vogue, Howell chalk, or a
Mm.
marker.
Mm.
Draw a circle on the ground around you
Mm.
and just tell to yourself everything within that circle revives. Forget
Mm.
about the others outside the circle.
Mm.
Whatever tension they're experiencing, mind you, you are also under the same tension. Focus on yourself first, self care, and then just your very presence will exude positivity.
Mm.
Many of the decisions that we see by public figures, by social media commentators, are triggered by biases. We just discussed about 7 of them during this webinar. But biases are a function of the brain.
Mm.
There's this statement that said that COVID-19 is a people problem. It is not a virus problem. Because when you think about it, if the country was honest enough
Mm.
to say they had COVID when they first encountered it,
Yes.
and then everybody pitched in instead of
Mm.
fighting against each other, and
Mm.
everybody just did social distancing, in 1 month we would have eradicated it.
I
Except
agree.
that we are our own worst enemies when it comes to curing this vaccine. So the questions were meaning, but I always say focus on the things that you can control of. And the very
Mm.
first thing is look in the mirror. You can control that person.
Thank you so much, Coach Ben. Now, on that note, Belen Nicasio asks you this question. Neuroscience is a very technical term for me, but am I right to say that you are just telling us to be positive because what we think and we create? So is this mainly or merely or simply about positive thinking?
Yes and no. No, because it is a science in itself. I
Mhm.
tried to really avoid being jargon filled during this webinar.
And
But
we appreciate you for that, sir.
neuroscience could actually be thought of as the intersection of biology and psychology.
Mhm.
Biology is the structure of the brain. The brain is very complicated, it has a structure, and psychology is the way we think. So it
Mhm.
is where psychology meets biology. So
Okay.
toward the psychology part, my question is, why would we want to feel less when we could feel more? Why would we want
Mhm.
to feel bad when we could feel good?
Mhm.
Um, Again, there are a lot of studies about it. Behavioral scientists
Mhm.
go for the rational theory movement, and yet it's been debunked. Rational theory says that man would prefer something good over bad.
Okay.
Man would prefer something pleasure over pain. Yet you and
Mhm.
I are exposed to a lot of contradictions on a rather frequent
Mhm.
basis. So to the question, I appreciate the question. On the biology part, you cannot challenge how the brain reacts. For example, when you do something socially offensive to me, my pain reactor, that is the one reacting when you hit me with a baseball club, will light up. That is pure biology. You cannot go
Yeah.
left and right about that. So if I say just take paracetamol if you have a heartbreak, that is born out of biological findings. Now, if you want to keep on choosing unresourceful choices and thoughts, that's well and fine. That's your life, that's your choice. But I tell you, every time your brain experiences tension, it releases what we call neurotransmitters. You've heard of oxytocin. These are
Yeah.
if you have a pet, then oxytocin is good. Serotonin keeps you peaceful. A lot of the antidepressant medications sold over the counter deal with serotonin intake. Dopamine gives you excitement. If you lack excitement, just do something, then dopamine will be released. The thing that I want to be careful against is the release of something we call adrenaline.
Yeah.
Adrenaline is good because it keeps you aroused, alert. And cortisol. Cortisol keeps you stressed. Now, if you are alert, aroused, and stressed,
That's
for
a bad combination.
short while pwede. If, for example, your house is on fire, it will serve you good. It will keep you alive.
At that moment.
If you are in a disastrous situation, the combination of being alert, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of threats will keep you alive.
Yeah.
The problem is similar to COVID. We are under arousal and stress 24/7. So comes a point in time it becomes already programmed into our beings. And it's not even because we're choosing to do it. It becomes programmed. And similar to COVID, they have not found any medication to cure how you can release extended adrenaline and cortisol easily. So choose your emotions well. You can actually have a choice in it. Like I said, five senses and self-talk. Just because, for example, if a question, if somebody raises a question online, Howell, and that person would say, Coach Ben, I think you are the worst speaker I ever met. I would say thank you for taking the time. I will sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
I have programmed myself to just value certain people's opinions mean a lot to me. One of whom is sitting beside me now, my wife. So if my wife says I'm okay, I'm okay.
Yes.
Number one, more than that though, is if my Lord Jesus says I'm okay.
Wow.
I'm okay.
So faith has something to do with you being at peace and at the same time understanding. Now, so thank you so much, Coach Ben. So this is not yes and no, positive thinking, yes, but no, it's not just positive thinking. There's science behind it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, Coach, how can we help change the mind of yung mga pasaway na amidst COVID-19 pandemic, nagsasabong, nagsusugal, nagbibingo, mga kapitbahay, nagchichismis. You say it's about between security and happiness. So why are they doing that? And how can they have a change of mindset when it comes to thinking about COVID-19 and the ECQ?
We discussed that it's called the probability of bias, probability of getting sick. Some people just don't think they're going to get sick. But I tell you, if for example, one household in that community gets sick, and if you read accounts about how people pass away from COVID, it's a very painful demise. You run out of, it's hard to breathe. It's not a painful way to go.
We don't want that to happen, however.
Right, but the point is, let's go to motivation theory. Motivation theory is either you go toward a reward or you try to avoid the pain. They see reward in just Uh, Actually, a lot of biases, they feel in control. They're flaunting their non-compliance toward the face of the government, toward the face of people who are locked
Mm.
in. They say, we are better than you. Look at our lot of
Oh.
life. We may not have much, but we have control. Okay.
Mhm.
On the other end is avoidance of a risk or a
Yes.
penalty. I would have to say this directly. If there is just one incident which becomes a hotbed in that
Mm.
community,
Mhm.
they will start staying indoors.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Coach Ben. Now, Charlie Yap is very interested in the topic. Ang sabi niya, what book can you recommend, Coach Ben? So I can understand more about the biasing. Thanks. Or, better yet, do you have upcoming workshops so
Uh,
they can meet with
yeah.
you? Mhm.
I'll be posting my contact information before we end.
Mhm.
Public workshops may be a challenge right now because of social distancing. I do extensive coaching. Right now, coaching is easy. I just tell my coachees to wear headphones because
Okay.
much of the conversation may be private and confidential.
Mhm.
Before I would meet them, but now because of the limitations, it's hard. I wouldn't mind, but my first question to the Charlie, is it? Uh,
So, yeah, na-answer na kanina. Yeah.
right. My first answer is neuroscience is a very broad subject.
Mhm.
It has applications for marketing. It's called neuromarketing. I do talks for financial
Mhm.
institutions. It's called neurofinance. How your brain processes risk and reward. I do talks on neuro leadership because our brain is the seat of our emotions and decisions.
I
So
love you when you say that. It's the
right,
seat.
the
Mhm.
seat,
It's
right,
the throne. Yeah.
right. So basically, it's all encompassing.
Mhm.
So if I were to recommend
A
something to
book.
start
Mhm.
with, we
Mhm.
would have to identify what is his preference.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, the online resource is rich and it's free and
Mhm.
available.
Mhm.
Just Google. YouTube has a lot of excellent resources.
Thank you so much, Coach Ben. Anonymous attendee, may I ask, given that we are in an isolated environment or work from home setup with our routines greatly disrupted, how do we address the certain pressure to be productive? Thank you. Pressure to be
Uh,
productive.
right. There's now a clamor. I've heard this when I attended a webinar. Uh, some people are actually downplaying, poo-pooing coaches, life coaches, because they seem to
Mm,
be obsessed with making people productive during this time of
nga
ECQ.
eh. J.K.
In
Rowling. J.K. Rowling was
J.K.
one of.
Rowling
Oh,
herself,
mm,
I do respect and appreciate her perspective. Kanya-kanya.
kanya-kanya.
So I would just say if the person is trying to avoid stress, first you have to understand the trigger. What
Mm,
is the trigger of what's the stressor?
mm,
Right now, cabin fever, being stuck with the same people, with the same things for an extended period of time becomes a challenge.
mm.
So there's no easy answer because all the answers are obvious.
True.
So whatever makes you mad. For example, my wife and I love her dearly. If I need to be alone, and again we practice stay at home quite.
Mm,
I need to be in this place.
yes.
Just give me 1 hour. I'm fine. Nothing's wrong.
So you have a sanctuary in your home, your
Yes,
personal sanctuary.
I hide inside the microwave. Very effective.
What a huge microwave you have in your home.
Yes.
Mm. So thank you so much, Coach Ben. Tama yun, ano? Now, Carla Marie de Los Angeles, on a neuroscientist coach's perspective, how does gut feel occur? And could we consider them as reliable? Yung, alam mo yun, totoo yun, ano? Sometimes parang it seems good but you have a bad feeling about it, so you would rather not do it.
Right. I don't think that's in the realm of neuroscience, though.
Mm,
I understand the question perfectly, but it's not
mm.
in the realm of the topic that we have at
Oh.
hand. I would go to basic decision making.
Mm-hmm.
Your gut is actually diverging. They say that we have two brains,
Mm-hmm.
our brain and our gut. There's
Yeah, I heard about it as well. So they
right.
have two
So
brains.
there's a growing amount of study and literature that
Mm-hmm.
connects the gut to our brain. And sometimes we say there's a saying that
Mm-hmm.
our gut decides our decision. So, toward that, about it, I don't think he's talking about the gut, but intuition per se.
Intuition. Yeah.
So, remember we said something about the E is equal to MC squared. Emotions brought about memories.
Mm-hmm.
Intuition is actually platformed on memories. The more memories you have, the more
Mm-hmm.
intuitive you become toward a certain predisposed line of action. So
Ayan.
if as a child you tend to always go for the high risk, you go for all in, and then grow older, you will be inclined to be a riskier investor, a riskier businessman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there logic and science behind it? Absolutely none. But whatever works for the person, if he doesn't break any rules, he doesn't hurt
Okay.
anybody, so be it.
Thank you so much, Coach Ben. Now, from Antoinette Odo, what can you advise sa mga tao na hindi makasleep during ECQ because of anxiety and depression?
There's a lot. Actually, as we get older, there's a neurotransmitter called melatonin.
Mm-hmm.
It decreases with age. When
Mm-hmm.
the children keep on sleeping all day long because when they get born, they're actually overstocked with melatonin. But it diminishes with age. That's why insomnia is a given. You
Okay.
will get insomnia. It
Mm-hmm.
does not help also that we have blue light. The light from our cell phones
Oo.
has been shown to reduce the production of melatonin. There are melatonin substitutes. There are melatonin supplements. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it works. There's actually a slew of what you can do. Take a
Mm-hmm.
warm bath, exercise,
Yes.
keep total darkness in the room, do not watch
Mm-hmm.
TV. Most of my clients that I speak to regarding sleep disorder is it's rooted on stress. Their mind is just super active about how COVID is affecting their
Mm-hmm.
future.
Yes.
Some businesses may not survive the
Mm-hmm.
lifting of the lockdown. Howell, you and I are in an industry that thrives on mass gatherings, and we have to reinvent ourselves.
We have, and this is
That's
what we're doing.
right, but we are just more realistic to admit that
Mm-hmm.
the world doesn't end. And like I said, we have survived 100% of all of our worst days.
And that's a good reframing of the mind. I love that.
So I would recommend to that person sleep on time, meaning there's such a concept called circadian rhythms. It is the body clock it's the clock of our body. It's different from one person to another. If I
Mm-hmm.
may segue, Sir Howell, no? The human work schedule is unfortunately contrary to the natural circadian rhythm of the human body.
Okay.
We should actually be working earlier, starting our
Mm-hmm.
workday at 5 and perhaps ending our workday at
Before
3.
6. Mm-hmm.
Except that for whatever reason we start at 8 or 9 and end at 5. That is contrary to how our body
Mm-hmm.
is primed in terms of alertness, in terms of alignment of our bodily functions. So for that person, um, take one day to know when is he really sleepy, assuming it's 2 o'clock, and assuming that will not compromise his work schedules when ECQ is lifted. Then build around 2 o'clock, and
Mm-hmm.
then try to 3 hours before 2, so that will be 11 o'clock. Take a warm shower, do light exercise, then stop all activity, just lay in bed. Listen to classical music. We are blessed, Howell, right now because our phones, Android and iOS, are they're replete with free and complimentary wellness programs. There's an app that I will highly recommend. It's called Headspace. It is totally free
Mm.
and it helps you calm your mind. There are also applications that play on a loop music of nature, birds chirping, waterfalls. That has been shown to lull your brain. The challenge, though, is some of our teens they sleep listening to Justin Bieber, and that pumps up your consciousness. It does not make you restful.
Mm.
So listen to there. I'm sorry if I speak a lot of jargon. There are four types of brain waves, and I don't have top of mind that, but there's one brain wave that is conducive to sleeping. So find that brain wave. You can Google it, and then see for suggested playlists that follow that brain wave pattern.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach Ben. We have a present question. How can I apply this course as a real estate agent? Apply this course to myself as a real estate agent.
Right. Real estate is it's actually a relational. It's a relational industry. It's not like buying batteries that it's transactional. It's normally placed at the cashier. So I would give the acronym SALT. S is you must sell solutions rather than your products.
Mm.
So real estate sells properties. It's similar to when somebody goes to a hardware store to buy a drill, they're actually buying a hole, not the drill. They went there to buy the hole that the drill will make. They're looking for the solution. So S is sell solutions rather than the product. If you locate yourself in this prime area, I'm talking of the particular real estate sector, you will solve traffic, neighborhood is good, appreciation for reselling is high. It's a solution. A is assurance or evidence. You must provide evidence of what you're claiming. This is actually a 10-year graph of the increase in property values. This is a map of the community that shows you that they're populated by high price residents. And then L is you must be likable, and T is you must develop trust. So again, this goes for all types of selling. Solve. S, offer a solution. Don't focus on your product. A, give an assurance or evidence. L, be likable, because even if Howell, if I sell you the best iPhone for a very good price, but I offend you, you will not buy. And then T, develop trust. And again, the industry of real estate is built on trust because it's highly capital intensive, and Filipinos are good with that.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Coach Ben. So how do you help people who are easily offended and those people who are easily triggered and easily angered and easily annoyed?
The question is how not to be?
How do we help daw po yung mga tao na easily offended, easily angered, easily annoyed? So yung mga madaling matrigger.
Right.
Yung little things can anger them and annoy them. How can we help them po?
Right. We have to de-anchor the trigger. You hit it right on the head, Howell. They may have anger management problem. It takes a lot of effort to be angry. People think that it's easy, but it's effortful to be angry. And also, we know that when we express anger towards somebody, two emotions are being involved, though, the other party and yourself. That person would be thinking that effort is worth it in order for me to antagonize the other party.
Okay.
Sad to say, a lot of our behaviors are rooted toward our childhood. Like I said, I do a lot of coaching, and it's easy once you find the trigger. For example, I had a client that the trigger was auditory or sound. So as long as you're able to change the sound, the reaction changes. And it does not take for you to understand how was your childhood, how was your parent. Just find the trigger and replace the trigger with something that produces resourceful results.
So, Coach Ben, thank you. If I can ask another question on that note, so will it be like opening a Pandora's box if you will try to remember your childhood, how painful it was, how bad you were treated, how badly you were treated? What can you say about that?
I will segue now to another one of my hats. It's called Neurolinguistic programming.
Mm-hmm.
Neurolinguistic programming is content independent. This is different from the Freudian and the other line of psychology, which is content intensive. They want to understand your past. It's similar to if you're using Excel, the spreadsheet, and you want to change the formula in a particular cell. If you change the formula in a particular cell, every time you run data through it, the formula kicks in. That is like NLP. You just have to remember 5 senses.
Yes.
Our memories are structures. Howell, I'll need you to be a live participant. I promise you this will not embarrass you, even though this will be archived on YouTube. Howell, think of a happy memory.
A happy memory.
You don't have to tell me what it is. Just think about it.
Okay.
You have one?
Yes.
Calibrate 1 to 10, 10 being ultra happy, 1 being so-so.
10.
10, okay? Now, I will not ask about the content. Does it involve a person?
Yes.
Does it involve an object?
No.
Okay? That's all I got, okay? And right now, we are using your emotion of happiness. The one that you had, which I'm totally oblivious to, is rated as a 10. Very, very happy. How can we make Howell happier with that particular memory without changing the reality of that memory? Howell, that person, can you make that person as tall as... where are you now, Howell? BGC.
I am here. Yes, sir.
All right. What's a tall building in BGC?
There are a lot of tall buildings. We have Hyatt here. And
all right. Okay. Can you imagine that person as tall as Hyatt? As tall
yes.
as
wow.
Hyatt. Okay. And assuming that a person is as tall as Hyatt, that person is giving you a lot of good things, flowers, champagita. So
a hug will do. A hug will do.
What? Sorry.
Hug lang.
A hug. You will get crushed if that person is But basically, if you magnify the way you structure your memory, you will magnify the feeling, whether good or bad.
Thank you.
If you diminish it, so assuming Howell that person is as big as Hyatt, can you calibrate 1 to 10?
100 times happier.
Right. So that's what exactly I'm saying, that on neurolinguistic programming, it is totally content independent. We just have to analyze how your brain has structured the memory in terms of images, sounds, smells, taste, and feelings. We have to rearrange it in a way that will magnify for the person. Now, if you want to negate the problem, you do the opposite.
Yes. Make it as small as you can.
Small, make it insignificant.
Insignificant as you can.
Yeah.
So, Coach, can I tell you who this person is? I want to tell you who this person is.
Does this person go with the title president?
No. This person is my youngest brother who got sick of leukemia at the age of 5.5. He lived with us, and then we celebrated his 7th birthday. Nag-remission siya sa cancer. That's the happiest day of my life. However, he died at 10.5, and that was the most painful day of my life. But that birthday of him, when he was still alive, 7 years old, free from cancer, that's my happiest day as a human being. And thank you for helping me with that.
Virtually, I can tell you have a very kind heart.
Thank you, sir.
Now, how will let me take it one step higher? Imagine that feeling of happiness that you have, like a flatten the curve. Try to make it peak by by magnifying all the elements, the people present during the cremation, the
Yeah.
flowers, assuming you're at the apex of the feeling of happiness, do something kinesthetically feeling-wise that will serve as an anchor. What I teach my clients is to take your right hand and touch your left shoulder. Because it's something unnatural. Do not anchor with a handshake because it's something we do normally unless we stop doing it with social distancing. So whenever you feel like you need to have a spinach like Popeye of instant dose of happiness, just do that.
That would be enough.
And your body, mind-body connection, your body will actually feel like a jolt went through it. And again, I want to maximize the time of our audience. Do you feel any discomfort right now in your body?
You're asking me, sir.
Sorry?
You're asking...
you. Only because
you're yeah. You know what? Yung tingling feeling of happiness multiplied by 100 times. That's how I feel right now, sir.
Let's talk about something. Do you have painful shoulder?
Lower back, 47 years old.
Lower back is the lumbar. It's the S4.
Yes. Okay.
Calibrate in terms of discomfort.
2?
That's kind of low. All right. Now, how will work with me? I want to share to our participants the mind-body connection. Imagine, try to localize where that pain is, that lumbar pain, wherein you calibrated at number 2 out of 10. Okay? And then put it, give me a part of your body that is resilient to pain. Is it your shoulder? Is it
my heart?
Your
heart?
No.
Yeah, my shoulder is good.
All right. Now imagine, work with me, Howell. Try to localize that pain into an object. I'd say a ball. Try to reach it, even though you might not be able to reach it. Take it from where it is now and put it in your hand.
Yes, it is in my hand.
It's in your hand now? It is?
It is.
Right. Now, is it your left hand or right hand?
My right hand, sir.
Right hand. Okay. Now, Howell, work with me. Get your left hand. The ball of pain is on your right
yes.
palm. Squash it.
Wow.
Calibrate.
It's gone.
Mind-body connection.
Galing. I believe maraming makikinabang dito, Coach. Sobrang galing. So, Coach, I'm so happy that we had this 1-hour Q&A, but one last question na lang daw. One last question, ang sabi ni Madam Irish Malonda Samson. One live. Do we have one live question, Madam Irish? From Jeresa May, one live question. Jeresa May, are you here?
Jeresa.
Sir Jeff, paki-put Ma'am Jeresa May.
Jeresa.
One live question. Ayan, so Madam President. So you know what, Coach, sobrang galing nito. I'm sure that all of us will be able to learn from this.
Is Jeresa around?
So mag-move on na tayo. Wala si Jeresa May. So, Coach, we'd like to thank you. And if I may ask our participants to honor and acknowledge the generosity of Coach Ben. Can we give him a big hand? Thank you so much.
My pleasure, everybody. My pleasure.
Grabe po. So, thank you so much, Coach. Now, so, don't go away, Coach, ha, kasi may gagawin pa po tayo. And the good thing about this is that this will be seen. It will be accessed by everyone publicly on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Ayan po. So, tapos na yung ating Q&A. Tapos na yung mga live questions. So, sir, dear Coach Ben Ampil, do you have any last words before we call this a day?
Could I share my? I'd like to share my last slide, but it doesn't seem to do it. Anyway,
Mhm.
something about neuroscience is it is what it is. So, friends, please follow me on LinkedIn. It's Ben Ampil. I recommend LinkedIn because it's very professional, and I have a ton of connections with neuroscientists globally, and I post a lot of applications of neuroscience on LinkedIn. So again, Ben Ampil, just follow me, and every other day I put something that is value adding and evidence based. And I want to thank JM, Anne, Irish, Jeff, Howell from the bottom of my heart, you, and everybody else who took the time from their busy Monday to join us. But more than anything, if you do not mind your mind, you would not be able to manage your behavior. God bless everyone.
Wow, God bless you, Coach Ben Ampil. Thank you so much. If you don't mind your mind, you will never be able to control your behavior. I think that's your tagline, and that's the most important thing about governing the self. Thank you, Coach. And with that,
how our coffee when the ECQ is lifted? Coffee is on me.
Excited to meet you, sir, in person. Thank you so much.
Your family.
God bless you po and your family too. Ayan, so there you have it. Coach Ben Ampil, not only is he a humble person, he also is full of knowledge and he has a heart to share with us what he knows and how he feels and how he can help us be better human beings. Di ba, Madam Irish Malonda Samson?
Yes, I
Pwede mo
agree.
palakpakan natin?
I agree 100%. It was indeed an interactive, informative session that was. So thank you.
What was your most favorite quote? Doon sa sinabi ni Coach kanina. Ang dami.
Oo.
Ako yung sinabi niya na, it's not your fault, it's your default.
Wow.
So, ingatan natin yung default natin. Ang galing.
Okay.
And, so, ikaw, sa madaming yun, ano yung nagustuhan mo, Coach? Madam
Yun
President.
nga, hindi ko makakalimutan talaga yung Batman, KFC, and the scarf.
Galing,
so,
galing.
Tama nga, Coach Ben is right. So, kahit matagal na, I will still be reminded of that. So, and also, I'm so forgetful eh. So, magagamit ko the eye movement.
Oo, yung XXX, no?
Yes.
So, thank you, Madam Irish. Thank you, CEO J.M. Atienzo.
Thank you, Sir Howell.
Kuya Jeff, our engineer. Salamat din.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Howell, for moderating our session.
It's a pleasure,
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank
you so
ma'am.
much.
Yeah.
And guys, it's not yet the end of our e-learning session. Please allow me to thank our following win-win sponsor for making this e-learning session possible. Okay, we would like to thank our official media partner, Art Plus Magazine, Focus Media, Globaltronics, City Advertising Ventures, Outcome, Elevate Media. Thank you to our win-win partners, Brother, Faber-Castell, Gluta-C, Moringa O2, KFC, Mr. Donut, Tokyo, Lotus Disco, Boss Job. Thank you also to CERT Technology Inc., Pinma Properties. Thank you, Parajet, Ilawi Korea, Kitosan and Carpo Consulting, and Enchanted Kingdom. Thank you also to Disperse and Cosmotech. Okay, if you want to place your ads here, advertise your company, your services, have a brand exposure, please do email us at marketing@ariva.com.ph. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. It's Ariva Academy Philippines, Inc. Please scan this QR code. It will be directed to our Facebook page. Don't forget to like us. If you have missed our e-learning session today and to watch the replay, please do subscribe at our YouTube channel. It's Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks. And it's a library of our previous e-learning sessions. So don't forget to subscribe. For our upcoming online learning session, this will be tomorrow. Don't forget to register. Crisis Communications in HR, communicating with employees through a crisis. We have invited Ms. Rochelle Andelo to discuss this tomorrow. Don't forget to register. And on April 25, we have invited Mr. Chinkitan, the sought-after motivational speaker and wealth coach. He will be discussing manage money in a crisis, strategies to manage your money better. And we would like to invite the HR professionals, HR executives, people managers. Please join us at our HR Virtual Summit PH 2020. This will be happening this week. So this is Team Bounce Back HR, Sharpen Resilience for the New Normal World of Work. So we have invited international and local subject matter experts to join us and discuss the sessions. For the first series, this is a back-to-back session. We have invited Mr. Dixon Tang. This will be on April 22. He will be discussing creative human capital in the aftermath of coronavirus. And in the afternoon, we have invited Coach Pia Nazareno Acevedo. She will be discussing emotional resilience strategies during the COVID-19 crisis. For the second series, we have invited none other than the father of modern HR, Dr. Dave Ulrich, and in the afternoon, back-to-back, with the global thought leader, Mr. Ron Thomas. This will be on April 23 in the morning session. Dr. Dave Ulrich will be discussing HR's role in crisis, the essential role of HR during the COVID-19 pandemic. And in the afternoon, back-to-back, Mr. Ron Thomas will be discussing HR leadership in a time of crisis. His time is 3 to 4:30 p.m. So for further details, please do visit our website. It's www.ariva.com.ph. Don't forget to register. And if you want to have a customized e-learning session for your company, exclusive for your company, you want to invite Coach Ben, you want to invite Miss Abigail Lorenes, Coach Bernard Marquez, and all of the guest speakers that we had, please do email me at irish.arivaacademy@gmail.com, or you may reach me at 0916-695-4418. And that's it. Hope that you learned a lot today. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Don't forget to register tomorrow on our e-learning session. This is Irish Malonde Samson giving you in Ariva. It's all about being better. Keep safe and stay home. Thank you so much.